Hi everyone, this is your self-awareness activity for the week of September 22nd. I didn't do any last week, I took a week off. So, the contemplation card that you're being asked to consider is Overwhelm. Now, overwhelm is a state of system overload. When we're in it, doing the simplest tasks seem daunting. Dealing with emotional situations seem impossible. It feels as though just one more thing will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, causing us to implode, explode, or disintegrate. Going into a state of overwhelm tends to happen progressively, even though it often feels as though it's a sudden event that produced it. Can you detect the buildup and self-correct before your system does it by shutting down? So I would look at that and I would say, as soon as I hear the word overwhelm, immediately I can connect to different periods in my life where I reached what felt like a breaking point. And I don't know if you have done that, if you have had periods like that in your life. But when I think back on it, when I contemplate it, I realize there was a buildup. There was a buildup of feeling as though I had too much to do, that I was kind of always chasing my tail to get things done, and that my attention, for me, what it was my attention was scattered in many different directions. I had many different areas that I was operating at peak in and needed to keep the ball rolling on all of them. So that's one way. But the other kind of overwhelm I'd like you to really consider is this. Overwhelm can come from one situation that just feels as though you can't get out of it, where you are almost playing the same thing over and over and over in your head, where it's an old memory that you can't get out of, or it's a current situation that you can't make decision about. That can also create a sense of overwhelm. So there may be other ways that you have defined it. I would just say, look at this and see what stands out for you when you look at that card and when you listen to those examples. What comes to mind for you? Has it been a part of your life? Do you constantly go into overwhelm? Do you overwork and are you out of balance in such a way so that you are never taking time to rest and you only take a break when you get sick or when you are completely, totally exhausted? Now, my card's dirty. There we go. Quantum leap of faith is the energy you're being asked to embody this week. So, quantum leap of faith, this means that beyond logical expectation, beyond the linear projections of our minds, there is a place of free fall. Here, you trust that what feels like leaping into the unknown void is really sailing on the winds of the infinite, unlimited benevolence, which will guide you wisely to your best and most graceful landing. Okay, now let's see how that pulls these cards together when we look at the last one. Problem or solution. Okay, I see. I think that connects to the second suggestion I made. Okay, problem or solution. Today, whenever you find yourself complaining about something or someone, stop and ask yourself, do I want the problem or do I want the solution? Answer honestly. You may be surprised at what your response is. Remember not to judge or blame yourself. Honestly acknowledge what you feel and then notice what happens. So this is really interesting for me because under the idea of complaining about something, it doesn't have to be oh, they're this or they're that or the situation is blah, blah, blah. It can just be focusing on what it is you don't like about it without actually saying there's something wrong with it. You can feel there's something wrong with it. It's kind of like an internal complaint without actually using words or concrete thoughts, but staying in that state of looking at the problem, being with the problem. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, isn't that interesting? Because that kind of thing in your mind can lead to a sense of overwhelm. So what you're being asked here is, beyond logical expectation, beyond linear projections of the mind, which is where we get stuck in the problem, there's a place of free fall. Here you trust that what feels like leaping into the unknown void is really sailing on the winds of the infinite, unlimited benevolence, which will guide you wisely to your best and most graceful landing. So what I would say to you is this: whenever you start noticing anything that is a lead up to a sense of overwhelm, or if indeed you're already kind of leaning into that, you're in that state, use that sense, that quantum leap of faith, that you are being guided, that there is a benevolent energy that is surrounding you and guiding you, and allow that to be the solution to the problem. And you can do it even for small things. You don't have to be in a state of overwhelm. It can just be anything that is playing on your mind right now. Quantum leap of faith, benevolence, and solution. Now, this also is something, again, you can reflect back over your life and look at this and say, where could I have used that? Or when did I use faith as a way to get out of overwhelm? When did I use faith to deal with a problem, move me to a solution, move me out of that problematic thinking? Okay? Now, I gotta remind you, these are activities that are designed to help you to get to know yourself, to be more aware of yourself. So what's really relevant here is, how do you work with these? What do you do with them? What does it bring up for you? What memories does it bring up? What feelings does it bring up? And how can you imagine using these in a positive way in your life, now, in the future, or when have you? Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Have fun. And have a great week. Bye.